to another video. So a while ago, I asked you to give me a bunch of Q&A questions, and I got a whole bunch of them, but it wasn't quite enough, so I waited a while and I got some more. So today I'm going to be answering them. Okay, so the first question is, what is the highest you've jumped? The highest I've jumped is 4'3". It was on my pony Grace. Okay, and what is your worst fall? So I had one where I got bucked off on a trail. It was completely my fault. My mare was in heat and she was sore, and I was gonna take off her saddle, so I slid back and she started galloping and bucking, and I went through the electric fence and landed on like some rocks. And there's another one that I was in the show with Champ. You guys haven't learned much about Champ. He was a 17-hand Bay standard bred that I was working with. And we were at a show. It was our first jumping show. Well, actual jumping show, like you go over the jumps. And he went over one, then stopped and turned. And I went tumbling off and landed on my head in the middle of the show. Okay, are you buying a horse? Hopefully sometime soon in the future I will be buying another horse, but not like really soon. Do you always ride in a big group? I used to not. When I first started riding, it was only individual lessons for 3 or 4 years, except for like the horse camps. Then I moved to Fiona's barn and I did a bunch of individual lessons. Then I started doing a couple smaller group lessons. And then when Fiona was moving barns over to where we ride now, I rode at the barn I was boarding at, individual lessons with Fiona, and now I'm over at the barn that we're at right now riding, and I do group lessons now. What's your most favorite photo of your horse you are riding? I will put that right after this. What is your favorite saddle pad you own? That will be in the next video. I just bought it. I posted on an Instagram story, but I know not all of you have seen it. If you're to lease or buy a horse, who'd it be? Well, I'm thinking about leasing a horse right now. You guys probably know her, Skye. And I've worked with her a bit, and she's a lovely horse. So I'm thinking about that and who I'd buy. I might buy Skye, maybe not. We'll see where it goes, and there's never a perfect horse to buy without looking for them. How long have I been riding? I've been riding, this summer will be 7 years. I started riding when I was 8 years old, or just turned 9 actually. What's your favorite horse breed? Well, my first horse was an Arab Hackney. It was Grace. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for Arabs now. I love them. Do or will you get your own horse? I do not have my own horse right now. I hopefully will get my own horse sometime soonish. What is your favorite horse to ride? Do you miss Grace? Yes, I do miss Grace all the time, but I know she went to a really good home, so that's really good. And she has a little girl that rides her now. And my favorite horse to ride would be Grace, but then there's another horse, Rogan, you guys might know from Day by Day's channel a while ago. And right now my favorite horse to ride would definitely have to be Rhett. Do you own Rhett? No, I do not own Rhett. I'm just riding him, and he's gonna be my show horse if there's show season this summer. This is from my friend Jenna. She said, not a question, but we need to go on a trail ride sometime. Yes, we do. We really do. Who is your favorite horse out of all of the horses for you to ride? At the moment, it is Rhett, but if I could ride any horse, it'd be Grace. Plans for show season. I was just gonna do local shows this year. I might end up doing Trillium next year. Depends if there is a show season this year. My barn besties. Okay, so there's Gabby. You guys probably know Kaylee. She's not at our barn anymore, but she's a really good friend. I've known her for longer than I've known her with riding. Sophie, Shayla, Hope, and then there's Tori. And Emma and Madison, they're kind of my friends. Kind of in between friends and acquaintances. Favorite discipline. I love my hunter I love my hunter, but I have tried barrel racing and it is a lot of fun. My dream horse. So I do love Hanoverians and Oldenburg, so if I get a Hanoverian Oldenburg cross, I would love that. And I like mostly every color of horse. I just don't like grays really, except like the white grays because they get super dirty. But I do love bays because my first horse was a bay. So can you tell us about Grace? Yes, I can. So Grace, I got her after about a year and a half of riding. My mom was in horses before I was even born, so she loves horses anyways. And I quit dance for riding, and I was really big into dance for 4 or 5 years. So then I bought Grace, and we owned her for 4 and almost 5 years because I got her for Christmas. So we leased her for about 2 to 3 months. We fell in love with her. My mom said that the owner ended up not wanting to sell the Grace. So my mom told me that we were gonna go to the barn on Christmas Day to go say goodbye to her because I don't know why Christmas Day she chose, and I believed her. And we went into the barn, and Grace was standing there in cross ties with a big red bow around her neck. At first I thought it was my friend's horse, Allie. So I was like, oh, hi, Allie. And then my trainer at the time said, that's not Allie, that's Grace. And I was like, oh, hi, Grace. And I went over, and then my trainer gave me her nameplate that goes on a stall. I'll show you it right here. So her show name was LBC Has Ability, and so I was still really confused on why she was giving that to me, and then my mom told me that she's mine, and I bawled my eyes out. And when I first got her, she was trained for saddle seat, which wasn't the discipline I wanted to do. I was doing hunter or sport horse, which I'm not sure if sport horse is a full discipline, but it is in the Arab world. And so I trained her down so she was calm enough for hunter, and then we ended up moving to Fiona because we just wanted a fresh start. And we brought Grace over to Fiona's barn, and we worked with her a lot, and we ended up getting her to jump. And then I had to sell her because sadly I outgrew her. She was only 14 hands and I'm 5'5", and she was really narrow, so I got too tall for her. Does Fiona own Rhett? No, Fiona does not own Rhett. The owner of the barn that Fiona teaches at owns Rhett. Are you leasing Rhett, or is he just a horse you get to ride? So he is my lesson horse. I will be showing him this summer, hopefully, if there is the show season, and possibly next year I might be going to Trillium with him. Not a question, but I love watching your channel, and everyone at your barn inspires me. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, everyone at the barn is great. We're all great riders. We all love riding together. Does Day by Day own your old pony Grace? No, actually. The barn that we ride at used to own Gracie, which is her horse. Grace went to a barn that was 6 hours away. It's a privately owned barn. How did you start riding, and did you have to work hard to convince your parents like I did? So I started riding when I was 9. I just turned 9, and I asked my parents for years if I could ride, but they always were saying I was too young to ride, and that my mom didn't want to like push me into it because she did used to ride herself and train. And when I did turn 9, I begged my parents for my birthday if I could go to one of the horse camps, and that's how I started riding. Do you think you'll get a horse soon? Not really soon, but hopefully we'll get one in the future, and I will be getting it with my channel. How old are you? I'm 15. I just turned 15 a couple months ago. Well, you and Gabby should do a horse swap video and do Chase Me Charlie on each other's horses. That's a really cool video idea. I have rode Storm. So there was 4 of us. It was me, Hope, Tori, and Gabby. And then it was Sparky, Polly, Rhett, and Storm in the arena, and we all rode each other's horses. Homeschool or public school? I go to public school, at the public school, high school, and French immersion. Where do you want to go with your riding? Well, I'm hoping to get into the bigger jumping leagues at some point. I know it won't happen for a while, but my favorite thing about your barn you ride at. I love the barn we ride at. Everyone is super nice. We have great coach, Fiona, and all the horses there are kept really healthy, and if there's anything wrong with them, the vet comes in or the farrier comes in, and it's just a really great barn to ride at. Favorite horse ever, why? Well, I'd have to say the pony I owned, Grace, is my favorite horse ever. She's my first horse. She was great. I worked a lot with her. I bonded with her really well. She's just a great horse all around. Do you have any Coco pics? If you go to my Instagram and my highlights, I do have a video of Coco rolling. What is your dream horse? Color, size, breed, age. So my dream horse would have to be Hanoverian Oldenburg or Hanoverian Arabian. And the color, I'd love a bay with socks and a star, maybe a snippet. And size 16'3", 17 hands. And age, I'd have to say like 5 or 6. Do you have any jumping tips? Honestly, just you have to kind of feel out the horse. If it's a different horse, you're gonna struggle a little bit at first, at least with me. And you just have to get used to doing your 2-point with your legs facing forwards. Literally, Fiona teaches it as try to kick yourself in the head when you're going over the jump, or try to touch your toes. And really just feeling out the horse and how they jump. It's a lot of work to learn how to jump at first, but then it does get easier. How long have you known Always Gabby? I've known Gabby for a year, almost 2 years I've known her. Who was more funny, Gabby or Laura? BTW, you are such an amazing rider. Thank you so much. And, well, it depends. Gabby can be hilarious and Laura can both be hilarious. It just really depends on the day and what it's about. What's the highest you've ever jumped, and who were you riding when you jumped it? So, as I said, the highest I've jumped is 4'3", and I jumped it on Grace. What is your goals for 2020? So for 2020, I was hoping to be able to show a bunch this year, a bunch of local shows, and be able to prepare myself for Trillium next year. Would you ever buy or lease Rhett? If I could, I would buy him. I love him. He is a great horse. Why did you stop riding Rhett for a little bit? So I stopped riding Rhett for a little bit because he did get an injury and he was really sore. He got an injury up on his stifle on the back left, and he had some swelling in the joint. so we had to give him some time off. Have you ever owned or leased a horse? I did. I owned Grace. And we leased another horse named Sunny before. Who got you into riding? So, I've always loved horses. I grew up for the first 18 months of my life with horses at my mom's farm. And then we moved down to the area that we live now. So, I've always loved them. And I had a couple friends that did horseback riding lessons, so I decided to finally ask my parents again, and they finally said yes. Is That Skye? I'll put the photo here. Yes, that is Skye actually. Before she went over to Laura's, well, the day-by-day farm, I did work with her, with Fiona. We got her going, so she was backed before, so if you don't know what that is, it's when like you put somebody up on the horse's back and just kind of get them used to have somebody up there. And then finally, that photo that I just put up was from my second ride off the lunge line with her, which is really good because I got her going over poles. I finally got her steering properly. It was just a really great ride. Favorite of Fiona's horses to ride and why? Well, Fiona actually owns Skye, so I love her to death. And then Hope is adorable when she's not being rude. And Journey, he's really funny. Nobody's allowed to ride Journey though, that's Fiona's horse. And Wiser, I am hopefully gonna be riding Wiser soon. If Rhett was for sale, would you buy him? Yes, I would. I love him. He's a great horse. Do you like riding Skye? Which horse would you own, show, or ride out of Chino, Finn, and Skye? So I love riding Skye. She's absolutely amazing. She is I have helped work with breaking horses before, and Skye was one of the easier ones because she had a whole bunch of groundwork on her already with Fiona, and I helped with that too. And I would own Skye, show Chino, and ride Finn. Chino is gorgeous, so he would win in most of the shows. And I've never rode Finn, but he looks fun to ride. Favorite lesson horse at the barn you ride at? So my favorite lesson horse would be Rhett. I love him. If we were talking about horses that were at the barn, I love Spitty. Sadly, he did pass. I rode him a bunch of times, mostly bareback though, just to like tune him up because he did do younger kid lessons and I help with those. So if he was not listening, I'd get on him and just tune him up a little bit. Who are all your best friends? So I have a bunch of best friends. So the friends I said earlier at the barn, my barn friends, and then I have Jenna, and I have Ariana. Hopefully you guys will meet them at some point. And I have Mackenzie. And those are really my best friends. I have a bunch of other friends, but like they're not like super close. What shows are you going to do this year? What do you want your next helmet to be? So I'm just gonna do a bunch of local I was going to do a bunch of local shows this year. I will be if the shows are open, and hopefully next year I'll be doing Trillium. I do have a Charles Owen helmet right now. I love my Charles Owen helmet. It fits my head really nicely. Lots of people, it's controversial because some people, the helmets don't fit their head really nicely, but it does fit my head. So I just get another Charles Owen helmet, I guess. That's Skye, right? What is she like to ride? So that was Skye. Skye, she's really smooth. She's a little bit temperamental right now, but I do get it because she's not fully trained yet. She only does walk trot right now. Hopefully by the end of summer, we'll have her walk trot and beginning jumping. If you could ride any horse in the world, who would you ride? Honestly, I'd just love to ride my mare again one more time, Grace. I loved her so much. Favorite horse breed or dog breed? Dream horse, dream house or farm, kids or no kids? So my favorite horse breed, I do love thoroughbreds and I love Arabs and Hanoverian Oldenburgs. So any warm blood really. And my favorite dog breed, I love Great Danes. If I could get a Doberman Great Dane, I would love that. I had a Dane when I was a little kid, and Dobermans are just adorable. I already said my dream horse, my dream house or farm. So I would love a huge farm with a really nice, not modern house, but not like old house, and then have a lesson barn with a larger-ish indoor arena, and then a big outdoor sand arena in the middle, and then a therapy barn at the back, like farther back of the property, that has a therapy pool and the therapy treadmills. And on the other side of the outdoor sand arena, I'd have a boarding barn with an large indoor sand arena for that. I'm hoping to have my own facility when I'm older, so hopefully that will happen in the future. Kids or no kids? I haven't really decided yet. I have lots of time to decide still, and I don't know yet. How many saddle pads do you have? I don't have too many saddle pads. I think I have my Ogilvy white saddle baby pad. I have my white back on track pad. I have my brown back on track pad. I just got a new saddle pad that will be in my next video. I have a gray and purple one. I have a blue and red one. I think that's it, maybe. And I have a bunch of show pads. Have you ever ridden Western? Yes, I have. Rogan. He does English and Western, and I was working with him for Western Pleasure for a while. For his owner, and hopefully I will be going back to ride him once this is all over.
Lordy.
That's so good.
Are you going to post the video of you riding Skye? I actually don't have a video of me riding Skye. Hopefully I will be getting one soon though. And my dream job would be, so I'm hoping to go to one of the big universities that does equine veterinary. So I'm hoping to be an equine vet and eventually getting to the surgical portion of it, because I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Details on your dog, age, breed. She is so cute though. So I have one dog which is named Maya. So this is Maya. She's my dog. She's got a puppy. And she is 7 years old. Her birthday is December 23rd. And she is a Brittany English Springer Spaniel. She has a long hair. She's a tricolor. She has the white on her paws and her chest. She has the brown around her face and on her neck, and then she has like the tan, on her face and neck, and then she's mostly brown. She's just below my knee height. She's a medium dog. She is about 45 pounds-ish, so she's about 20 kilograms. And she loves snuggling. Really dopey all the time. Really adorable. Then I have Abby. She won't come, she's upstairs, which is the video that I had me jumping my dog. She's about the same height and size as Maya, but she is a English Springer Spaniel Beagle mix. She only has 2 colors. She has dark brown and white. Her paws have little speckles and they're kind of gray, but they're considered brown. And she is 7 years old as well, and her birthday is May 23rd. What is the best thing that you like about training with Fiona? So Fiona just explains everything really well. If I don't understand it, I ask and she tries to explain it another way. And then she's just really funny and she makes a whole bunch of jokes. And even if we do mess up, she doesn't make a big deal out of it. Like, she'll laugh sometimes. Or like if we fall off, she makes sure we're okay. But she always makes us get back up on our horse and continue so we don't get scared. What's your favorite breed of horse? As I said, it's Arab, Hanoverian, Oldenburg, and Thoroughbred. What is your favorite color of horse? I don't really have a favorite color. As I said, I just don't really like the white. Like, I call them white, but they're technically gray. Except Skye. I love her color. She is a paint Appaloosa, so it's absolutely gorgeous. And that's all my questions. I hope you liked my video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.